What is happening, guys? Mathematically is back again. You know where else? So let's get into it. I'm actually thinking one day, you know, when I move house and do my different things, guys, I'm gonna get another background, and I may still keep the ironing board in the background. We'll see. We will see. Yeah. Actually, they're probably gonna spruce up the background a little bit. Give us some time, guys. Channel's still growing and all that other stuff. Anyway, guys, so let's get into respect of this particular group of fragrances. Not in any particular order. I'm just gonna literally just go through what I have. Again, I'm probably gonna sell these on eBay at some point. No right or wrong. Everyone's got their own perspective on fragrances, guys. It's unfortunate for me, these fragrances don't resonate with me. They don't tell me any story. If a fragrance is art in a bottle, this is literally in the bargain bin. And maybe you get what you pay for as well. It's no different from wine. I keep saying the same thing. I could even do some reviews on wine to some extent, but ultimately, you know, I'm looking for a bouquet. I'm looking to get an idea as to what this fragrance is trying to say to me. Now, I've purchased these fragrances, guys, so I can't blame anyone for it. It's totally my decision, but I would recommend, by all means, probably try and smell them before you purchase them. These particular ones, again, relatively cheap. This is only Zara fragrances. I will do one on designer fragrances as well. 5 fragrances, which again, I would not recommend to buy. I can give you some ideas from my perspective, but equally, I'm sure you got your own. So let me know down in the comments, do you like these fragrances or not? Number 1, and again, this isn't in any particular order, it's just going through them. And this is scent number 1 from Zara. You look how much dust I actually have on the top of it. You can see. This one came out, I mean, I don't even know when this one came out, probably around about 2018, so I was about to say 2 years ago. Now, for me, guys, I'm going to do a quick spray on it now. Hopefully it doesn't make me sneeze. But ultimately, Santal 33 from Le Labo, is what this one smells like. Now, that's just in the opening. Opening notes of cardamom, some leather notes, and then also I think it's like as a floral violet note in there as well. So, I mean, I want to say original Santal. It's not original Santal. Santal 33 is an expensive fragrance, don't get me wrong. That one's costing you, just in the UK, just 100 mils, for example, is costing, let's have a quick look, roughly around about £130. £130 it costs from John Lewis for a 30 ml bottle from Le Labo Santal 33. Okay. This costs £10, £9.99. Can't necessarily complain. But unfortunately though, guys, and again, this is probably more unisex, so maybe it might lend itself to slightly more female-based fragrances. But for me, guys, the creaminess that I'm expecting to get from this particular, or well, I mean, what it came from as an imitation, that particular one from Santal 33 lasts literally, in my opinion, all day. Extremely long-lasting, creamy type of fragrance. Obviously, you get what you pay for. You know, richness in flavors, richness in obviously ingredients. But for me, it wasn't necessarily enough that I felt committed to pay, you know, £130 for that particular fragrance. Some people like it. Some people choose to spend their money that way. I personally chose not to. And therefore, when this came across, I was quite happy to smell it. Now, I'm not saying this is necessarily one of the worst fragrances that I've produced, but I just wouldn't advise you really to buy this one. In my opinion, it becomes a skin set relatively quickly. It doesn't last longer than probably about an hour, if that. Unless maybe in a hot climate and you just want something which is slightly like a fresh version to some extent of Santal 33. This to me, it just doesn't have that richness, the creaminess, long lasting. We get more of a floral note from there, and that's it. And it just seems to just stay in this sort of floral note and just dies away. And that's what I felt with this one. And that's where you can see literally it's like this hasn't been opened at all. Scent number one. But for me, it just definitely isn't number 1. So again, no point in laboring the point, but it just doesn't really have anything going for it, in my opinion. It's just one of those fragrances which is a so-so fragrance. I'm sure, guys, in the history of fragrances, this is one that's just going to be forgotten. Some people like it, and hey, I mean, I probably sell this on eBay. Someone may like it. You know, everyone's got personal choice. Just not for me, guys. I just wouldn't recommend buying that one. Try and smell it if you can, guys, if you can. But you know, if you can actually get a bottle of Santal 33, just deal with the real stuff, guys. I mean, you know, some of these fragrances, I think we end up wasting money because we buy so many of the cheaper ones, when if we just bought the main fragrance, you know, you can be satisfied to have the main fragrance. I mean, even that, actually, just looking at that now on online there, it's actually £184 on John Lewis for 100 ml. So obviously you spend £10, but I just don't see the point of it. Keep your £10 or something else, guys. Next one, again, no particular order. This one to me is a pet peeve. It doesn't say anything at all. I even tried to sell it on eBay and no one buy it on eBay. I think someone offered me something like £4 and it just wasn't even worth my time to go and actually go to the post office and send it in the post. Literally No Night to me smells like bathroom air freshener. That's what it smells like to me. There's nothing going on. Nothing going on whatsoever. This, to me, this isn't even a fragrance. This is just literally an air freshener. There's just nothing there. I mean, I'm looking again. I mean, people are saying they like it Fragrantica, opening notes of lavender in the top notes, so apple in the mid notes, and in the base and dry down has some sandalwood. It literally smells to me just like lavender. That's all it smells like to me. This, to be honest, guys, if you really want the lavender fragrance, there's so many out there. This to me smells like something that if you're gonna put it on before you go to bed. Put it on. Just to have a bit of a freshness, but it's not something I believe you could even really wear. I don't even know when you could wear this one. Maybe in the high heat, maybe, because it's so light and floral. But that's as far as it goes. There's nothing to it. Nothing to it whatsoever. Again, I would not recommend it, guys. If you're looking for a manly fragrance, this definitely is not the one. If you're maybe looking for a unisex fragrance, potentially you could get away with this one. Slightly floral, so it's going to be slightly more maybe towards the feminine side. But there's just no masculine notes in here. I mean, even for me, when it talks about the dry downs being, the base notes being that of sandalwood. This is not a sandalwood heavy fragrance, really. It seems to be slightly more of a lavender based fragrance. And I think it's one of those fragrances that lends itself to the lighter notes. So again, the top notes are supposed to be lavender. That's all I pick up on. Longevity wise, I mean, I've not even really cared to smell this any longer. I think when I actually went to purchase this one, unfortunately, they didn't actually have any bottles available, and I did blind buy it, and this is one of obviously what comes out from blind buying, and this wasn't the cheapest one either. I think at the time this one was probably gearing towards around £15 or so, give or take. It definitely wasn't a £9.99 fragrance. So that's probably why I just held on to it, just for, you know, being so pissed off that I spent so much. But you know what, guys, that's just how it goes. So, you know, believe me, guys, some of you guys think that I get these fragrances for free. Trust me, I don't. It's my own money that goes into these fragrances, but I love, you know, discussing it with you guys. So by all means, you know, please just understand it's not an easy thing. It's definitely not an easy thing for this YouTube stuff. But again, to get the message out, and I want to share that knowledge. Yeah, so guys, again, I wouldn't recommend buying that particular one. No Night from Zara. Next one coming up, and this is scent number 3. Again, look at the level of dust on there. Look at the level of dust. Now, some people are saying they like this one. Again, lavender, bergamot, and it seems to have some grapefruit in there. I have worn this one, maybe, I mean, I don't think I recall wearing it that much, but let me have another spray. I mean, it's just, again, it's just not memorable whatsoever. And again, I think I just purchased these ones just to do reviews on at the time, which I did admit over time, I probably have to stop doing that, because some of these fragrances just leave nothing to be desired. Lavender, yes, you get a bit of a sort of lavender grapefruit note. Is just a little bit sort of like sweet. But that's it. There's nothing. I'm trying to even see what this looks like in respect of what it potentially is a clone of, but I don't believe it is anything. Some of you guys have said that you really like it on Fragrantica as well. Bergamot in the mids. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's nothing really going for it in my opinion, guys. It's a so-so fragrance. And when I say so-so, literally nothing at all. Nothing in nada. So there's nothing in there, guys. It just, again, it's just unmemorable. There's nothing about it. Beyond the even bergamot note, that's probably just trying to just stand out a little bit. There's nothing else. Yeah, waste of time, guys. Don't waste your money. Scent number 3. Slightly got a green sort of note to it. When I say green, yeah, nothing at all. Leather, no, not leather. Lavender, nothing. Grapefruit, yeah. So guys, nothing, waste of time, nothing going on there, guys. It's a skin sense pretty much straight away, and I think on top of that, as I say, it's not even there's no powerful notes in there. It doesn't even seem to be distinguishable to say that this is the top note and this is the base notes. It's all very linear, waste of time fragrance. This one to me is not, again, this is not necessarily one I would recommend to buy. Some people do like it, and some people, if you're into maybe slightly more of an inoffensive type of fragrance, funny enough, this might be one for you, but it's just not for me, to be honest, guys. I prefer it to be slightly one way or the other, or if it's going to be in the middle of the road as like an all-purpose fragrance, which I just recently did a video on, it needs to hold its weight in being an all-purpose fragrance. This to me doesn't really say anything. Top notes in this one, See, it's got some geranium, it's got some sage, and then in the base notes it has some tonka. Let's have another smell. It just, to me, when I purchased this, it reminded me of slightly of the Sauvage, but equally, there's it's like because there's an ambroxan in here that's not noted on there, so there's an ambroxan note. If you imagine very, 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 very light hint of this particular one, so Office for Men, is like a very, very slight hint. Now, this one is a different type of fragrance, don't get me confused. This one gets more into ambroxan. You've got like some sort of fruit notes as well in there, and equally bergamot as well. Some people say it's slightly synthetic, but I can understand, obviously, you're trying to go for longevity with this one. So if you imagine that ambroxan note that you get from here, the sort of sea salt sort of note, you do get an element of that in this particular fragrance from Zara, which you could also equally find in the Sauvage as well. Yeah, it's just again, it doesn't. That's the problem with these sort of fragrances, guys. Excuse me. The problem with these sort of fragrances, they just don't particularly last, and that's what sort of let this one down. It's a nice fragrance, don't get me wrong, in respect of what it is, but for the cost of what it is, guys, there's so much more out there. You can do so much better. It's just a pleasant fragrance, but it won't last. And I think the only thing that keeps it there is that ambroxan note. That type of salty C note, as I mentioned, is what keeps it in the dry down. Beyond that, it just dissipates into nothing at all. There's no top notes that really stand out. You're saying that it's got some geranium in there, but I don't really... You can pick up on a slight floral note, but it's not enough to make you think, oh, wow, that is this note and that note. It's just non-distinguishable, in my opinion, to my nose. It's one of those fragrances which you smell in the store. It smells pleasant. Purchase it alongside your clothes. Get home and you think, you know, and then they've got you. You've opened it, they've got you. I mean, in the UK, guys, I don't believe you can take back fragrances to the shops, to Zara. Maybe in the States, I've heard some people can actually open a fragrance and take the fragrance back because they didn't like it. But that's not something I'm aware of particularly. So ultimately, it leaves us with just one more fragrance. And again, guys, I'm only just saying this from my perspective, so everyone's got a different perspective on this. But at the same time, guys, again, it's just spreading the knowledge with this stuff. And that is scent number 4. Just a quick spray of this one again. Some people like this. I think I've worn this. You can see there's a little bit more juice been used in this one. I've worn this one a few times, but again, it's just not necessarily something that's distinguishable. It's not. It's okay, but it's not one I'd recommend to buy. It's saying that it's got some patchouli in the base. It's got some vetiver, and it's also got some lemon. You do pick up on the lemon notes. You do pick up on the lemon. It is like a sort of fresh fragrance. But again, it doesn't really last. There's just no staying power. Just no. This is probably something that I'd probably wear slightly more for, obviously, summertime with the lemon note. So that citric note, just like a sea salt maybe note as well coming out there as well. I don't believe there's any ambroxan in this one. Just more citric, and again, it just seems to have just this sort of. It's like if you imagine you got this patchouli, so you got this sort of greenery note with a citric note. It's like it wants to be more than it is. It's like saying I want to become something else. But right about now, this is the best you're going to get. Well, hey, if you've paid $9.99, it is what it is. There is another one that they did release. I don't think I've got that in my collection, where a lot of people said it smells pretty nice. But unfortunately, and that's for these scent number 1, 2, 3, 4. But unfortunately, I didn't purchase that one because I just gave up on the whole collection. And to be honest, it seems to me, in my opinion, most of the part of the whole collection just not worth the time. So I just thought I'm not going to bother smelling that one. Greenery notes, citric notes. And that is it. Maybe a slight spice, and I'm assuming that's coming from the mid notes with the vetiver. Slightly spicy, but again, it's just like it's too safe. There's nothing about it. It doesn't stand out. And these sort of so-so fragrances, guys, I just counting them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You imagine that's costing me probably really around 10, 20, 30. Maybe call that one, that's 45, and maybe call this one, maybe this one costs about £12 or something like that. So if you say all in all, between 50 to 60 pounds, call it, give or take. Yeah, 5 fragrances, maybe buy one fragrance that's going to cost you £60. So you could buy one fragrance that costs you £60, or you buy multiple fragrances and don't get something of any particular value or any staying power. So unfortunately, guys, they're the 5 I would say just to stay away from. Maybe go and smell them and see what your thoughts are, but for me, they just don't work. I'm starting to realize more so now with a lot of these fragrances, you're probably better just to save up your money, guys. Go and buy that one fragrance you particularly want. Some people don't like it, but hey, go and buy that one fragrance you particularly want, guys. It will do its job if you want it to do its job. If it doesn't do the job for you, at least you would have tested it before spending £60. these little fragrances, when you spend £5, £10 or whatever it may be, £10 obviously, when you spend £10 per fragrance, you know, you may be less, you may be more accepting of the faults of the fragrance, but it all adds up. It all adds up. And I think I've got well over probably about 80 bottles, and a lot of majority of them are Zara fragrances. I'm going to do my top 5 Zara fragrances I enjoy, but for these, there's just 5 fragrances that I would stay away from, guys. Don't waste your money. And then by all means, guys, hopefully, you know, will save you some time and some money as well with this video. So please, if you do like it, please just get a thumbs up, and also do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao.